Oh, yeah. Here we go. Adi Johan, good day. Welcome. Oh, we have 19 people here. Good. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I was struggling big time with my internet. It just wasn't working. I reset the modem multiple times, computer, everything. I don't know what the problem was. Finally was able to get everything back online. All right, so I marked out the 20% retracement level at 388, which would be this would be the TGIF setup. 20% retracement. Pack. I have 385 Deepak, which is about 3 points short of the 20% retracement at 389. So I have 385. All right, Dorcas, good afternoon. I should just start saying good day since we're all in different time zones. Okay. All right, Queen. Yeah, Queen, I set this up as the TGIF. So I know you asked about it earlier this morning. And I said, unless we get a new low, TGIF has already happened. And of course, we all know that we got a new low, significant new low. So I set up what the TGIF could be. And that's how I ended up getting this set up. Hey, Miss Healthy, how's it going? There you go. No, you had a great week, Queen. Hopefully you have a good time this afternoon, enjoying yourself after a successful week of trading. That's another thing. Apex extended it for 3 more days. Anyone looking for those same 90% off 1 day pass evaluations? It's extended for 3 more days. There we go. This fair gap value gap doesn't hold, and that's it. Yeah, I was looking at ending it up somewhere up here. Maybe it running into this fair value gap above us and ending up and finishing the trade. So it's gonna be hard to get in now and look for terminus trade at 385, 390. If it retraces deeper, then maybe you can consider getting in, but I wouldn't look for anything in this level. Push higher. I'll take the extra. But oh, thank you, Pauletta. Got a retracement back down into 50% here of the fair value gap. We'll see where it is at the end of the hour. We still have another 15 minutes, but we'll see if this fair value gap is still relevant or not. If we can push above and close, then obviously it'll disappear. Otherwise, it will remain on the board there and still be a reason for price to push lower. And for anyone who may still be in a position, let's look and see if we're going to reach that 388 level soon. We did tap 50% there. 61 is down at 342. See if this candle, now that we're in the macro, it's 150. Let's see if this candle can get above 358. Or the next series of candles. So we have pushed above that. Up next would be 367. The sweeps these equal lows. We'll then see if it finds support somewhere inside the fair value gap. I was wondering if we were to invalidate it during this time period because we have about 6 more minutes. If we were above this 6 minutes from now, then it would invalidate it. But if it wants to hold on to it, keep it on the chart, then obviously we're not going to close above it in the next 6 minutes. Measure this up one more time. All right, 310. 310 is equilibrium. Also, take my TP down rather than. Okay. All right, Malad. Yep. Yep. Okay, James. That's excellent. Glad to hear. Oh, to the tick. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Ray. Good job. Way to be disciplined. Oh, okay. Here you go, Ray. I took it. It was a 1 minute entry. Actually took it on this candle here. Just make this a different color. Wasn't a breaker. This, when we got this impulse candle pushing higher, I ended up catching it right here at the top lip here at 1224. And I know it's against my rules. I usually don't trade during lunch, but I've been thinking about the TGIF happening. And so when I was sitting here and I saw it happen, I jumped in right as the 1 minute traded, right at the edge of this candle, the 1219 candle. And so I entered, I put my stop below the swing low and wanted to see if the swing low would hold. Even though I knew this was likely to be the lunch low, if it did hold, I felt like it would run to, it would complete the TGIF before taking out the lunch low sometime after 1:30, 2 o'clock or something like that. So that's why I entered, and that was the entry model I used. Just basically the impulse to the upside, CISD, and took the entry from there. Yeah, no. Now we can watch. I mean, if it does return to 20%, that's still up at 388. So there's still some room, some headroom above for it to trade into if it wants to. To 310, okay. Yeah, 310 was the 50% retracement back down. Right, we have our lunch high. I'm not sure, James. I think their expectations are just different. I think people, they pass through, but they're not impressed. I guess I don't know, but no, I think we have a good community. I think there's a wealth of knowledge here. Um, so I don't see why people don't come and hang out for a while. But for whatever reason, they don't want to. You caught it 1250. Okay. Oh, nice, nice, nice. I see. You got that retracement down to the tick. No, I am not in a trade at the moment. FVG vibes. I am not in a trade at the moment. If you want to watch a video to learn more about the strategy, there's a YouTuber named Ash Trades. Give me a second. I'll give you the link. Yep, FEG vibes. Yeah, take that link and that'll give you an introduction. Let me see if we run for. Let's see. That's a good point, Deepak. If you're here for 30 minutes, either you like it or you're wasting your time. One of the two. All right. So let's see. 1 p.m. 5-minute busy. All right, let me mark that up there. And it's just below discount. Yeah. Yep, that's a good point, Ray. Some don't sign in. That's a good point, James. I appreciate that. It happens sometimes, but that's what I talk about. Some people, it doesn't meet their expectations because they feel like if you're sitting here, you should be in a trade. It sure is. Yep. See, need to see a swift flush and recovery for continuation. '93. Wow. It's amazing, Ray. Trade Zella stats. All right, look like we got a nice little channel coming down. All right, looks like volume in the dollar has definitely tailed off quite a bit. And judging by the news this morning, I was expecting a lower value from the dollar, and it just hasn't occurred. I don't know if it was baked in already with pre-market trading, because dollar has, ever since the London Open, has pushed for lower prices, with its low being reached on the candle body side, 8 o'clock. It did put a wick down during 10 o'clock hour. However, it was bullish following that. But the last couple of hours hasn't really produced much. Oh, looks like the Dow has some life. Who knew that? All right, we're waiting. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at the indices and just see where they are as we compare them together. So this is where I was talking about the dollar hasn't really done much. So lunch hour and the 1 o'clock hour didn't really produce, not even a range, not a large range or large candle body at all. But as we look over at the Dow, which has just kind of been moping along since yesterday, the last couple of hours have just been bullish. After this morning, where it wouldn't break the low, it wouldn't sell below yesterday's low, it wouldn't sell below London's low. None of the lows were taken from the Dow. It just kind of held its position until just recent, the last couple of hours, and it's been pushing higher. We got the same out of a bullish fair value gap on the S&P. It pushed lower, however, recovered, closing inside of fair value gap before the lunch hour was complete, and then it's just been pushing out ever since. Now on Nasdaq, we didn't have the same fair value gap to hold price. However, it's moving in tandem with the S&P, and the S&P did have that level of support. As far as this hour is concerned, you can see that S&P and Dow are still bullish, whereas we are still trying to get back up there on Nasdaq. So we'll see if Nasdaq can continue pushing bullish up until 388, where we will see a conclusion of the TGIF setup. Let's go ahead and jump back over. Hey, nice, Frank. 85%. That is really, that's very high. It's a really good win rate. Yep. Oh, Mags, I didn't see your message there. Sorry, I was just looking at the charts myself, and now I see you already typed that in about 3 months ago. Wow, Frank, that's really good in only 3 months. Fish lips. I put a link up just above. Find that link I posted. Yep. Yep. Give me 1 second, James. All right, fish lip. Yeah, there was a link about 20 comments above where we are now, and you'll see. James, the TGIF setup. Yes, so the TGIF setup is you take the weekly range. Let me show you that. Actually, you know, it's probably easier if I do it here. All right, so I'll do it on the far right. Let me just pull up the weekly. Oops. All right. Yep. So what you do is you grab the weekly candle on Friday. So starting Friday morning, but you need to be at one of the extremes. So here we have a bearish candle. So we need it to be at the lower end of the weekly candle. And then what you would do is you just put a Fibonacci on the entire range. And then when it starts to retrace, you then expect retracement to go to 20%. And it's really that simple. So once I took a long entry during lunch, expecting price to trade higher, then that's why my target was at 389 is 20% retracement. So that's all it is a 20% retracement of the weekly range. And so that's what happens if you get to the end of the week and price is at I guess at its extreme limit, then you just expect a 20% retracement. And so this morning we actually had one. And so I wasn't sure we were going to get a TGIF today. This morning price was probably here, but this was the entire weekly range and it retraced 20% already. And so I said we wouldn't get a TGIF unless price pushed lower, creating a new low, which means it would be been at the extreme end again. And then we would expect a 20% retracement. And so that's what we got down to here. So it's kind of a easy win on Friday if you're just looking for a setup and you're not sure where to take a trade. You just look for a 20% retracement on the weekly range. And I'm not sure if anybody else talks about that setup. It's one that ICT talked about. But I have that area marked up here at 380, 388. But we retraced back into the trade I was in. So of course I got taken out. Uh, oh, okay. The daily low, 18,241. Okay. Well, that's at 250 to 310. Addicted to the charts. What's going on? What's up? Yeah, usually on Friday, usually on Friday, someone asks me, are we going to get a TGIF today? So usually Friday mornings, I take a look because someone always needs to know whether we should be looking out for it or not. Okay. Yeah, 20 is actually a solid number. James, I know what helps a lot of others. I'm not sure how you're trading, whether you're doing minis or micros. I know a lot of people have said that their ability to hold trades changed dramatically when they move from minis to micros. So when each of the increments were valued at less, they were what it did is it allowed them to take partials. So they already was able to put something in the bag for each trade, and then it allowed them to have some others carry on to see if they had a run or so if they could get 100 points or whatever the maximum would be for any individual trade. Um, that was just what helped them out a lot. I still trade minis, and I keep telling myself I'm going to switch over to micros. Hopefully, I can get the same type of benefit that they were able to get. Because one of my problems is trading just one. If you make just one contract, it's hard. I mean, you can't take partials. So you either got to hold it all the way until the end. You got to choose a short target. Um, and so those things make it much more difficult to hold for 40, 50 or more points. There we go. And we still have this 5 minute BISI set up here. And let me go and put measurement back up so we can see when we get to equilibrium is here. Oops. Lovey, they do. They do. Yep. So 10 micros is a mini. Everyone, let's keep in mind that today is the final day of the month. It is also the final day of the week. So you got the monthly and the weekly candlesticks closing out today. So if we get slow activity between now and then the close of today, that is most likely the reason. I don't know if you guys caught it earlier when I mentioned, but Apex has extended their promotion for 3 more days, just in case anyone was interested but maybe missed out on purchasing the evaluation account. It does. It'll either give you mixed signals or it'll just it'll test your patience. And a lot of people get impatient and end up blowing their account, and then finally watching the move that they thought was going to happen just after they are either exhausted or have lost the maximum amount for the day. All right, we're almost at equilibrium here. Then we'll be in the discount, and we can then look for price to potentially move to the upside. It has taken an hour to do this right here. So this is 1:30 to 2:30. All right, so S&P has already completed its TGIF. And we also have a TGIF completion for the Dow. Mhm. Levy, you must have missed it a few minutes ago. We were talking about it. TGIF is on Friday whenever you find the weekly candle, either at its lowest point of the week or at the highest point of the week if it's bullish. You then look for a retracement of 20% anytime after, um, yeah, pretty much anytime after the London session closes. So you can look for it in New York AM or New York PM. And since we had a big push lower all the way until lunchtime today, to about 12 o'clock, we look for it to retrace 20% here in the afternoon. And that's what we began here. I have it marked up 20% as 18,388. And so we'll see if it makes it up there and completes that trading setup if anyone took that. But I was just mentioning that the other two, Nasdaq and the Dow, I'm sorry, S&P and the Dow have both completed theirs already. So we'll see if we can make it up to 388. We got close. We got to 367. So it was about 20 points short. We did from the leg that we pushed out from lunch all the way until 1:30. We've already just retraced to 50% exactly. That's the equilibrium level at 310. Now we'll see if it can push to 388. Yep. Sure, Frank. Let me figure out something. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Looks like we are finally getting that bullish push we were looking for. Looks like it spent exactly 1 hour doing this, and at 2:30 it decided it wanted to now do something different. So we had our high at 1:30 that then sent price lower. At the low put in at 2:30, and now price is moving higher. All right, so we got two examples. Actually, we'll wait and see what happens here with this trade, and then Frank, I'll help you out. See the price is starting to trade back down. All right, Frank, let me help you out here quickly. We go to the 5 minute. All right, so this morning pre-market, what we had was here on the 5-minute, this was the London low. So I'll start by first, you need a higher time frame PD array or session higher low liquidity sweep. So you're going to look for that first. From after then, you're going to look for the breaker to form, moving in the opposite direction on either the 1 minute all the way through the 5-minute. The higher, the better. So if you can find it on the 5, that's what you prefer. From there, you want the fair value gap to create itself on the confirmation leg. That creates the unicorn setup. It goes from being a breaker setup to being a unicorn by having the fair value gap within the breaker. And then you want the confirmation of the breaker to either occur during a macro, or you want the retracement to occur during a macro. It's not required, but the probabilities increase if you get that. And then you target 25 handles. So if we look at this morning, pre-market, we had a liquidity sweep of the London low. So it originally happened at 625, and then we had a push even lower here just afterwards. So the breaker is going to be this low to this high. Okay. Let's make that a little bigger. All right. So this is going to be your breaker. Traded below, and then you're waiting for it to confirm. So that confirmation, you need it to trade above and you need it to close. Trade above and close. And that happened at during the 710 candle. So that was just after the macro finished. The macro finished at 710. This candle opened up and immediately traded and closed above at 715. Now that's outside of the macro window. So that's why I say it's not required, but it does increase your probability. So we got all of that, and this is a 5-minute. You retrace back down, and then you would target 25 handles from 532. So 557 was achieved on this candle during 755. You would have closed out. So it took about 45 minutes, or maybe a little less, maybe 40 minutes. And then that would have been the end of that trade. If you wanted just 25 handles, if you had multiple contracts and you wanted to leave a runner on, obviously you could have eaten some of what was to come after the news event at 8:30. So there's a news event at 8:30 that's in price much higher. But if all you wanted was 25 handles, your trade would have been over already. Now this was pre-market, so this trade happened at 7:20. So you would have had to been looking at the charts prior to the news event at 8:30 and prior to the opening bell at 9:30. But that's sort of the easy checklist to follow. Oops. Now we'll follow and find another example, and we'll see what happened after lunch. Okay. Well, not after lunch, but during lunch. So during lunch, it didn't happen on a 5-minute. It was a 1-minute setup. All right, so we had something very similar. Let me find where we traded to. Yeah, I don't have the higher time frame PD array that we traded past. Let me find that. Yep. Well, on the big move down, we swept many lows on a higher time frame. So that wasn't a question of whether we swept a higher time frame PD array or not, because we definitely did. But anyway, if you follow, we then had the breaker set up, which was, yep, we had a low here, high set there. We broke the low, which also swept the low that was here, traded higher and closed outside of it at 1239. We then had a retracement back in at 1250, which started the macro 1250 to 110. You could have entered here. And again, your 25 points from the edge would have been 274. So you've been exiting at 300, which was right here in this candle at 1 o'clock. So that would have been about a 10-minute trade there. And essentially that's the unicorn setup. So that link I posted in the chat, please follow that if you're not familiar with the unicorn, or you want more practice seeing it and listening to someone explain it to you. make sure you watch that playlist from Ash Trades, and you should be good to go. Yep, definitely not required, especially since we already completed the TGIF this morning. This is more or less a second one happening today. So if it doesn't complete, then you know, it's like any trade. Not every trade is 100%, but we did get 90% of the way there. We pulled from 241 all the way up to 367. So that was a 120 point move, versus to complete the setup would have taken just another 12 points or so. Yep. Appreciate that, James. Yes, the Discord is free. Join in there and you can ask questions. You can get help from other subscribers. You can also ask questions to myself. %62 retracement. Okay. Just like last hour, if we trade above this fair value gap and close in 2 minutes, then we would invalidate that fair value gap and probably feel a little stronger about price moving up to that 388 level. Let's see if we can close above 350, 356. From 332. Okay. It has a higher time frame candle on the side of TradingView. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, James. I just used a fair value gap indicator for a higher time frame, so I get the 1 hour fair value gap, even though I'm looking at a 1 minute candle. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. I use this one here. It's called FVG, Nephew Sam. It's the only indicator I'm using right now. And then when I go inside the options, I just its default is up here. So its default is to chart. So whenever you switch to a 5-minute or a 15-minute, it gives you the fair value gap that matches that chart. So I uncheck that and I check the 1 hour and say, no matter what I do, always tell me where the 1 hour is. And so I have wait for candle to close, identify, extend boxes all the way across. After it's invalidated, delete. So those are my options. And I asked it to go back 500 candles to look for a fair value gap. Now, sometimes if you're in an area that hasn't been traded to in a month or longer, 500 candles is not enough. So you'll have to go back and manually put those fair value gaps in. But if it's within recent time where you were in that area, then it'll find it. All right, Johan, you got her abbed another 22, 23 points. Good job. Hey, Luke, glad to have you as well. Great for you. All right, 3 o'clock, final hour of trading for the week and for the month. Miles, appreciate it. Whatever reason, it just wouldn't let us close above before 3 o'clock. Now I know we're after 3 o'clock and the fair value gap is survived for another hour. Let's see if it let us trade above now. And then we collapse and fall back down before the close of the day. I mean, it got, how close did we get to the lunch high? Wow. 2 ticks. We got within 2 ticks of taking the lunch high and it didn't take. Yeah, sometimes I have an idea what I think is going to happen, and then other times I run out of things to say, and so it's quiet sometimes, but it's because just I don't know, I don't have anything else, and so if you guys throw questions in the chat, then I'll answer those, or if you have something you want to talk about, we can discuss that. But otherwise, I can't I can't talk for 3 hours straight. Okay, equal highs here as well. 358. Okay, we still have another 6 minutes here in the macro. See if we run the lunch high before this is over. And then if we do run a lunch high, if we can get those final 20 points or so. Trade it back in at 250. Yeah, I like that this is for reversals. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. I guess Control U is not underlined. Just make it bold. Hit equal highs again. 10 seconds remaining. Maybe the next candle will do it since we're closing at the top. There it is. Finally grabbed it. All right, can we get the final 20 points up to the 20% retracement? I do want to say that although you see I show a bullish breaker here on the 1 minute inside of a bearish hourly fair value gap, that's not something you traditionally want to do. You want to marry them up with the same direction. So if you're looking for reversals, price trades into a bearish fair value gap, you would look for price to trade lower. However, in this situation, it already had traded higher and it was trading back into the range. And then we were looking for a continuation higher, which is why this is set up here. All right, looks like we are pushing towards the TGIF completion today. Got about 8 more handles to grab. finish in the next 20 seconds, then we'll have a completion during this 250 to 310 macro. A lot of times you'll see the macro either give the confirmation of a trade setup, give the trade entry, or if you're currently in a trade, you'll see the trade completion, which is generally a liquidity grab of some kind. All right, so this one did not complete during the macro time, but let's still see if we can grab the final. Where did it go? About 5 handles away. All right, there's a TGIF. I guess what I should have done was also mark up 25 and 30 because those are extensions. If the TGIF wants to continue, you'll see it trade to 25 and to 30%. It's going to be 30%. That's going to be 25. About another 35 points up to get to 25% and another 35 points higher than that to get to 30%. Dumani, yes. Go into the description and click the link that says Discord/social media, and then you'll find it. Yep. Thank you, Ray. Thanks for all your support as well. All right, Max. Yeah, take care. Have a good weekend. Anyone trading the Dow today? Just does anyone trade the Dow regularly? Let me start off there. Morning. You try to. Oh, that's right. Yes, Miss Goody. I think you are normally doing the Dow. Okay. So I was just looking at how crazy price has been the last 3 hours or so, thinking if anyone's trading the Dow, they've definitely done good. All right, everyone. We have about 45 minutes left. If you can hit the like button, uh, that would do a lot for the channel to show YouTube that you're enjoying the content and that they should promote it and encourage other traders to join. It's like higher prices are forthcoming. Again, 25% retracement is at 426, about 30 points from where we are now. Yeah, you're right, Milad. We did look at, we looked at the way the Fibonacci was set up, and we said, all right, well, 310 should be it. It came down to equilibrium to the tick, and I find that happens more times than not. But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do forget to measure out price legs when retracements are happening. Even if you had taken the equilibrium entry at 310, it's delivered 100 points since then. All right, WC, way to go. About 10 points short of the 25% retracement here. Need another fiver, another 5 points to be right there. All right, 25%. So we've had TGIF deliver 20 and now 25. I have 30 marked up as well at 463. Not sure it'll make it up there, but it's marked up just in case. Let's see where consequent encroachment of this fair value gap is. All right, so it's at 458. So about 4 points short, 4 or 5 points short of the 30%. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Loot, that was sort of the same kind of thing I came up with as well. Is that whenever I go back and I review setups and when they happen, the ones that happen during macros seem to work out 90% of the time. I mean, I know I'm just throwing that number out there, but it's really, really high. And so if you're only going to take 1 or 2 setups a day, it's best to just wait for those times. And if nothing happens during a macro, you just wait another 40 minutes and another macro will come around. Right? Because we had this entry as a macro. Let's see. That's also in a macro, I believe. It sure is. $30. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right here at the equilibrium. Yep. You're right. There was nothing keeping it from retracing back to here into this fair value gap down around 297 to 300. As well as there's really nothing keeping it from coming back and wanting to mitigate this level. Right down at 280, 283, 285. But yeah, but if you had not entered at 230 and you waited, Then at 2:45, this candle would have closed. It would close outside of this fair value gap, even though that's the hourly. And you could have waited for the retracement and caught that move up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gray Wolf. That was amazing setup right at the tail end of lunch. Nope, we sure don't. We don't. We don't require anything else today. We've gotten everything the market can give us, and now the market's going to set up for wherever the candle's going to close. Yep. In fact, let me show you guys something that I often see. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah. So one of the things I notice is that in a lot of cases, these weekly candles and daily as well, you do find candles like this one with a long down wick, but you find a lot of candles like this one here, April 22nd, where you find the short wick there and the short wick on the bottom. So a lot of times the wicks seem to be similar sizes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back a little bit and close towards the lower end of this bullish fair value gap, just so we have a wick to the downside that's similar size to the upside. We had it on this candle. We had it on this candle. Not this one, but we had it on this one. Not exactly equal, but almost equal there. Not so much. Almost equal. These are a little lopsided, but you get what I'm saying. In a lot of cases, you'll see that it doesn't like to be like severely lopsided with the wicks. And so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a push down towards the end. This is also the end of the week, the end of the month, and then we shut it down. In fact, let's look and see what the monthly candle looks like. All right. All right, so we made a major recovery. We were trading a bit lower earlier today, but this is good though. The monthly put a wick above, but the candle body not so much. So we'll have to be careful next month and make sure the price doesn't want to trade up into this wick and then lower, because it wasn't able to trade above. Even though it made a new high with the wick, it wasn't able to close above. So next month, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to close somewhere up here. So of course, that's where the next month is going to open. So it's going to be easy to push into this wick. But we'll have to follow it and make sure that it's not looking for lower prices, because we could be moving lower for the month or maybe a couple months. Okay, let's get back to the hourly. Put it back on DXY. And let's go back to this one. TJ's already looking for shorts. Don't worry, Shark, you're in the same boat. I know you're already looking for them too. I'm sure you did. Did you trade after you completed your combines? You kept trading? Okay. Oh, that's right. You had some other combines that you already had completed beforehand. All right, we're getting down to the final 30 minutes today. About 30 minutes left. All right, looks like maybe it does want the 30% retracement. Got another 25 points to make it there. Mm, 450. Okay, 18,450 achieved. Yeah, we still never got that bearish movement from the dollar today that we expected with the news announcements, both at 8:30 and at 9:45. All right, 30% gone as well. All right, that's as far as the TGIF is supposed to do. It's anywhere from 20 to 30. 20% is the high probability, and the others are not so much. But after 30%, then that does it for the TGIF. So I don't know what other targets to look for. Not as far as that setup is concerned. Now let's see what else is here. Oops. Let's go to 5 minute. Okay, we've already passed the consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. I mean, let's see where this candle closes. We still got another 2.5 minutes, but I'll go ahead and put these gaps in that could send price lower. All right, so that's super tiny. Somewhere around 18,500, maybe the next place where we see price turn around and or just stall its progress. And we're almost at 345. S&P 500 looks like it wants to make a new daily high. Now, the Dow has made a new daily high a long time ago. All right, Deepak, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week. All right, Luke, catch you later. Yep, it's a critical point here. Not only do we have the 5 minute fair value gap here, we're inside the hourly, and we also have a price point that hasn't been traded back to since it left at 503. And so any of those or a combination of those could send price lower, or like I mentioned, just kind of slow down progress until when we get to the end of the day. Just leave price where it is. S&P looked like it reached 52.63 after having a low during lunch of 52.06. So about 60 points this afternoon. I didn't do anything. I looked over. Ray, have you looked at the S&P? The S&P looks like it won a new high of the day before this day concludes. It has about another 20 minutes to during our session, but another hour and 15 minutes, it can definitely do it. It only needs about 10 more points. Yeah, Nasdaq probably won't make it because the daily high is at 660. So another 160 points would be hard to grab. But for the S&P to grab another 10 points, that's definitely doable. Man, it's just let's take a look here. Yeah, look at this here. Really close to taking that high, 572. Yeah, the daily high for the Dow was taken so long ago. It was taken during the 1 o'clock hour. Maybe that would have tipped our hand that the rest might look for it too. But yeah, here's the S&P. That's crazy movement this afternoon. Completely reversing what we saw this morning. There it is, new daily high. Who saw that coming? Wow. What a way to finish the month. Now, in 9 minutes, if it closes up higher, that'll be crazy to flip market structure here at the end of the day. I don't think there's any big announcements coming today. Nope, Shark. It looks like today the only announcements, there was two companies that announced oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm already into next week. Sorry. Let me go back to this week. All right, here we go. Yep, same. There was only two companies announced today, and they both were before the open. So no announcements after the close today. I don't see any major companies announcing next week, though. Nope, I don't see any. Midnight 8:30 open in full view. Oh, we're 3 minutes into the macro too. I forgot all about that. Right, you were right about that. Whoever called 550, it hit. Milad, you were right on that. Right on point. 8:30 open coming next at, I guess that's 573. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know what? Let's just watch this. It'll be a lot easier. Nothing's really happening on the dollar, so I'm not going to remove my picture on the left hand side here. But we can watch the three indices trade these final few minutes. Running out of real estate on the S&P. That would be funny if it went all the way back down at 4 o'clock. Yeah, this is a hell of a way to set up June. I swear every time I've watched like the final day of the month, it's like, or especially when it closes on a Friday, you get the afternoon where the range is 40 points and it kind of dies at 3 o'clock and doesn't do anything. It was at 590. All right, so the open today was at 590. So if we close above 590, then we're looking at a bullish candle after the short from this morning. Mm-mm. Okay, so consequent encroachment. Let's see if it gets back. If it makes it back up there. All right, we got 2 minutes to close out the hour. Let's see where it lands. S&P is looking to invalidate all those bearish fair value gaps you see on the screen. Let's see if Nasdaq can at least invalidate the 3 that are below it. Race to finish. Yep. All right, there it is. All those fair value gaps are gone. From 460. Sweet. Damn, you just took one micro, 150 points. Hmm, sweet. Well, that was a great conclusion to a Friday afternoon and end of a month. I have no doubt somebody else, not just Milad, jumped in a trade and said, you know what, if it's just going to go up, I'm going to be a part of it. So I'm sure there's several of you still in trades now. Let's see what the final 10 minutes brings. Maybe Nasdaq will do the same and also make a new high for the day. Let's see if that happens in the next 10 minutes. 250 on this one candle, 250 points. It could be 2,500. You're right. No, you did really good, Milad. You saw the charts really well today. You picked your spots. The levels that you called out were spot on. Today was your day. All right, looks like it does want to pull back a little bit. All right, everyone, show's over. Go to happy hour. Just have fun with your life. The charts will always be here. We'll catch it again on Monday morning. Ooh, nice. Yep. Good job, man. Way to go. Yep. Everyone, enjoy your weekend. I'm glad that we were able to actually have a session this afternoon. I couldn't get things working as when our session was supposed to begin, and I actually sent out a message that we would cancel. Luckily, things came back up about 10 minutes later, so I'm glad you all were able to join. Hit the like button, subscribe on your way out if you haven't already, and enjoy your weekend. We'll catch up and see what we can do next week, starting Monday morning at 9:15. See you later, everyone. Take care.